Carolina with Greg T in the morning.
On 103.5 KTU.
103.5 KTU, the beat of New York. It's Carolina Bermudez with Greg T in the morning with the one, the only Billy Porter.
Yes.
Good morning.
I mean, I could hear you walking down the hallway. That voice, it is so distinct.
I agree.
And loud.
As we were sitting there at our desk, all of a sudden I could hear his voice coming, and I'm like, oh my God, there he is. He's there.
Baby projects.
Oh, yes, and baby is a dancer.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. Now, so we have so much to cover with you.
Okay.
But I feel like we should have a chat because we're just a couple of Midwestern girls here, okay?
Well, I'm
You
not
said-
Midwestern. I'm East Coast.
Well,
Pittsburgh is East Coast. Everybody tries to put us in the Midwest. We ain't in the Midwest.
Now, you're denying me. I thought we were going to have
we're
a
not.
moment.
We're not in the Midwest.
Oh, my goodness.
We're on the cusp.
Oh, my goodness. So, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
You were born and raised there.
Yes.
I was born and raised in Warren, Ohio.
You were.
Small, tiny
I
little
know.
town.
I know about Warren. My family I have family in Wellsville.
Wellsville,
And,
Ohio. Oh,
you
my
know,
goodness.
around the East Liverpool area, so that's where the Porters are from. That's
Yes.
the Porter side, yeah.
So when I researched you and we were talking about this, because obviously I wanted to have a little bit more background, and I thought to myself, nobody gets it. Nobody really knows, like Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania,
Oh, yeah.
to have these dreams and to come out of these, like for me, Warren, Ohio, this tiny little spot, and look at you now.
Yo, what about me? What about Jersey? I'm like,
He's the Jersey guy.
my town's got
Whitney
a Costco.
Houston's from Jersey.
Oh, that's true. Okay, there you go.
There's a lot,
She's
I
not
mean, there's
from
a
my
lot of
area.
great people from Pittsburgh, too.
Yes, no, absolutely. But, and then I walked through and I was telling Greg T, I said, there were so many incredible things about your career that I didn't know until I started really going back. Star Search.
Yes.
The same episode as Britney
1992.
Spears, honey.
That's
Yes.
pretty cool.
She was like 12. I was grown.
Yes.
I've been around a long time. We're going to say the age. It's 53. I'd say my age.
Celebrate it,
Because
though.
I celebrate my age. I've earned this age. I've earned it.
Nice.
Absolutely.
I'm 53. I'm a 53-year-old pop star, bitches.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Good morning.
But, it's all of this journey. And, obviously we've seen the Broadway accolades. I mean, an Emmy, a Grammy, a Tony,
Two Tonys.
2 Tonys, my gosh. And so I just think right now, what a moment for you. This song is coming out. Has this always been the dream, a pop song and a pop record?
Yeah, a pop music career. I grew up in the age, like I said, the age of Whitney Houston.
Yes.
And one of my, I had 2 major dreams. Conquer Broadway, win a Tony.
Okay, done.
And then be the male Whitney Houston.
Okay, there.
And, my first album came out in 1997.
Wow.
On A&M Records. It was an R&B album.
Yeah.
I love the album. I love the work. And the business was very homophobic, and I wasn't really interested in not being my authentic self. I didn't know how to not be my authentic self. And so they put me out, right? And I had all these other skills that I could lean into. And as a result, my career expanded. And so now I'm back in the pop music space on my own terms.
I love that.
And it's really special. The world has changed, and quiet as it's kept, because we hear a lot of negativity.
Right.
The change has already happened.
Yeah.
I've lived in the world where I could not be who I am, and now I can be. And we got to make sure we keep that.
Well, I
here.
I think the authenticity, though, the authenticity of you and being committed to that has given you that ability to take those little detours, little detours that created these big, wonderful opportunities. And
Expansions.
Expansions for your career, yes.
Because they were always, I went to Carnegie Mellon. In the drama department, like I studied act, I'm trained.
Right. Absolutely.
You don't have to be trained to be in show business, but I am.
Yes.
Heavily trained in all of it. You know what I mean? So that's the part of my career that I'm the proudest of, because there's sustainability in me as an artist, because I am grounded in, the craft of it.
this is your fourth or fifth album,
It's
right?
my fifth album.
Fifth album.
Wow.
Yeah.
Would you say that this is that one time where you're actually letting people in the most, or is the fourth album? Which album do you have that you did that?
Yeah, I would say, well, all of them I let everybody in
Right.
all the time. But this one is particularly special because I wrote it.
Gotcha.
I wrote all but one song.
Okay.
Wow.
It's everything that I've ever wanted to say
Right.
to the world, now with a platform
Right.
that everybody, people know. If you're coming to see Billy Porter, you are aware of who I am and what I stand for.
Right.
And so this is a space that's like breathing for me, fronting a band, but I've never been able to sing my own music, show up as myself. It's different from being in a play.
Right.
It's different from Lola and Kinky Boots.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
I'm showing up
Lola.
as myself
Yes.
to minister. Quite frankly, I really, it's my art is my calling. It's my purpose. It's my ministry. And my music is the original gift. I started singing in church when I was 5.
Yes.
And it's because, and it's because of the singing voice, the gift from God. It just, that's the thing that allowed for me to have the courage to expand into all of these other spaces.
Right.
And so, to now be able to get out and go into the world, like old school grassroots, and connect with the people, especially after COVID, especially after we've been in the house for,
It's time.
for 2 years. And,
Yes.
I just want to look people in their faces. I want to give people a big bear hug. This concert is going to be a celebration of life, love, joy, hope, peace. All of these words are active. They're actions. We have to choose them every single day and re-engage every moment of every day so that we can come together and make this world a better place.
I feel like I just went to church. My gosh, right now I just did. I mean, you're really going to bring it to everybody. And what a way to unite people. I feel like we are just so divided.
I know.
And this gift that you have is really going to bring that unity that I think that we have been craving. You are going on tour. Is this the first time?
It's my first time on like a rock and roll bus, and there's a bus, and there's a lot going on.
Where's the one city that you're most excited to go to?
I'm excited to be in Pittsburgh.
All right.
I was going to say,
I'm going to
home.
Pittsburgh I'm excited for all of them.
Yes.
I'm excited to be in the South. I'm doing 4 places in Texas. I'm excited to go right into the center
Yes.
of all of it.
Yeah.
Y'all got to look at me, honey.
Oh, and they
you
can't
got to
miss
look
you.
at me
Oh, no.
and you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like I'm a human being. You're going to look at this human being and you're going to make different choices. We have to make different decisions about our humanity. And so I'm just I'm so thrilled. The album is I call it my magnum opus. I mean, literally everything that I've ever wanted to say.
Well, we have to talk about the album,
Yes.
Black Mona Lisa.
Black Mona
And
Lisa.
That just even the title to me, I said, me thinking about like, what would I name an album for myself? But I said, this fits you so well, the
Thank
Black
you.
Mona Lisa. I mean, it couldn't be any better. And the song is a bop. I gotta be honest.
Thank you.
I have listened to it over and over again.
Baby was a dancer.
Baby was a dancer, and it is so catchy. My kids were singing it in the kitchen because Mama was doing her. Like I said, we were
Yes.
playing the song over and over again. So, what is the response that you have gotten from your fan base about moving into this genre?
I have to be honest with you. I don't do a lot of checking of that.
Good.
No,
It's
because I
smart.
find social media to be more toxic
Of course. It
than
is.
I need.
Right.
I don't need it. And I lived in a world without that.
Gotcha.
So like I don't, my mantra is I do not now, nor will I ever adjudicate my life or humanity in sound bites on social media. So it's interesting because I am always focused on the work. And what I find is the expectation can mess me up.
Oh,
Because my expectation is here. And if the result is anything less than that, then I'm lost.
Okay.
And so I don't really engage. And I'm like, I let people tell me when it's time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I have a book,
Sure.
you know, that I wrote, my memoir, Unprotected. Never knew anything until my agent called and said, "You've recouped."
I just
and
can't
I was
even
like,
believe
great,
that.
that's great.
Well, and even just hearing your story too about how you didn't even have an agent. Gosh, how many?
I didn't have an
years?
agent for like a decade.
That
No
is-
agent, no representation?
agent in this business.
You're
And so
kidding.
you have to. That's
Up
why
until like 2019.
You really have been.
I
you,
did. I had a
done it
manager.
himself.
Yeah,
Yes.
you
I had a
built
manager.
all the success by yourself.
But I didn't have an agent.
Wow.
And I didn't do it by myself.
What do you mean?
I did not do it by myself.
Well,
I had,
no, this-
there have been people beside me and angels encamped all around
get
me
you.
the whole time.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? This doesn't happen alone.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen overnight
and it
because,
does
like you
not
said,
happen
you've been
overnight.
singing since you were 5. You recognized
Yeah.
that you had this gift, and now
Wow.
you've just expanded into different areas. And one thing that I think that everybody can take away from this, we have so many people who are listening right now that are driving to work or they're driving to school, and they've put their passion aside and they're doing what they need to get by. And you have lived your truth. You have
Yeah.
lived your dream.
It's
so
such a gift.
It really, truly
really
is.
is.
And that's what you're going to bring on this tour. And
Yes,
so,
I am.
Nice.
on the album, I have to ask, were there
Yes.
any people that you thought to yourself, I have to work with this one person? Or just through the years and in the industry that you wanted to write with or that you wanted to collaborate with?
Well, there are several people. For this album, I worked with three writers and producers in particular. Justin Tranter, who, just look him up. He's written every number one song in the last,
That's great.
decade.
Yeah.
The late great Andrea Martin, not the actress, the black songwriter who wrote "Hold On." Wait, did she write "Hold On to Your Love"? And,
In Vogue, yes.
and "Prove Your Love," and she wrote "Show Me Love."
Oh,
You
wow.
got to show me. She wrote that. She passed away last year. Tragically, and we miss her. And I had an opportunity through my A&R, one of my A&R people, Carmen Cacciatore, to be introduced to this brilliant woman, and we wrote a couple of songs on the album that are quite powerful and poignant.
Oh, wow.
I call them my political section. The 2 songs, it's like my political section on the album. And then I wrote with M&EK.
yes.
Out of London. And so I think those are like the 3 main writing teams that I worked with on this album. Now, in terms of, guests, I would love to work with a lot of different people.
Yeah.
I have dreams of working with a lot of people.
Okay, give me 2 of them.
I would love to work with Beyonce.
I was going to ask you about
Lettucey,
Renaissance. Wow.
Gaga.
Okay.
Kendrick Lamar. Lizzo. I have a lot of people, and I don't want to leave nobody out. I don't like lists because I always leave somebody out. But there's so many people that I want to work with. And I also understand that right now, it's my time. And I have to present, and I have to show the world myself, me, period, me. All of the guesting will happen.
Yes.
And right now, it's about me.
I love that. I mean, honestly, I seriously do, because
great.
that is
It's
so
great.
important.
It is.
For people
And-
to receive you as the artist that you are.
Yes.
And not be clouded by the fact that you're doing this with like another person. Now, I will say, Kelly Clarkson heard
Clarkson.
your
See what I
rendition
mean?
of
See
Stronger.
what I mean? I want to work with Kelly Clarkson. I want to
Yes.
work with J Hud. I want to work with Fantasia.
I don't know if we're ready for all of this, though. I think we need you on your own, and
That's
you
what I'm
would
saying. Let me
blow
do it
us
first.
away. Yes, exactly.
And then we'll get all the,
the guests.
the guests
Yes.
together.
I love it. I
Because
really
they
do.
need to also see me. Like Kelly Clarkson, she knew me, but
Yeah.
she saw me
Oh my gosh, that
on
performance.
that Stronger thing.
We have to reference this because
Yes.
people don't know. This is the only man that could make Patti LaBelle his background singer.
Wow.
He did Stronger on That's My Jam, and Kelly saw it and was so blown away. She had no idea, and you had to do it in a gospel
Yes. Yes.
way.
I did
It's-
it in a gospel way.
Oh my gosh, it was just unbelievable. Now, about the music, I do have to say, this is a time of transition, I think, for music.
Yes.
I think we are ready for this fun, dancey energy, which is what you're bringing in the single.
But it's also music with a message. It's all, it's not just a bop or a vibe for bop and vibe's sake.
Right.
There is always a lyric that means something. So,
but don't you think that people expect that from you, right? That's
well,
what they're
people
looking
do
for.
expect it from me,
Right.
But the industry doesn't necessarily expect it, right? The industry is, and like you just said, I think we're moving back into a space where artists are becoming more political again. I grew up with protest music.
Yep.
I was born in '69, as the first lyric of this song goes. So, I was on it's protest music. Like the music, the lyrics, the using the art to speak truth to power is what we're here for, I think, personally. And so this music, for me, like I said, I'm so excited about it because it does all of the things.
Right.
You get the bop and you get the message at the same time.
And not everybody can deliver it.
No. And being from the theater, it was so interesting because I was talking to my sound man and I gave him the album and he's like, oh my God, I can understand every single word. Like, I understand every single word you're saying.
And for everybody else, there's no auto-tune.
And there's no auto-tune. And there's no, and it's like, and he's like, that is so rare these days where you can actually hear
the purity.
Every lyric.
Absolutely.
I want you to hear every lyric. And it's my theater training.
Right, of course.
That assists in me.
Right.
Like they have to tell me to not be so articulate.
I was going to say, did your sound engineer tell you got to bring it down a little bit?
No, well, they're like, you don't have to put every T and every P. Like you don't, like all of it. It's interesting. It's a balancing.
Definitely.
Act.
And
yeah.
Speaking of balancing, you've had the ability to, just like we've mentioned before, on stage. Now, in movies, 80 for Brady. Can you tell us about this experience?
Oh, my God. Those ladies are the epitome of who I want to be when I grow up.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, the joy, the zest for life, they're all over 80.
Yes.
Except Sally Field, who I think is like 78 or something like that, 76, 78. But like... they're vibrant, they're alive, they're present, they're active, it's magical. And it's all because they chose themselves, they lived their truths.
Right, they've been through it already.
They made sure that they, every single one of them have lived wonderful, gorgeous lives, full lives. It's just great to see.
And I can't
it's
let you...
It's great to look forward to.
I can't let you be in the studio and not talk about how impactful and how powerful Pose was. That was such an incredible series. And, for somebody who was raised in a very sheltered environment and had no idea that this was a movement that was happening in New York City. I mean, for me, it was such an eye-opening, wonderful experience. And you, pray tell, like that, the whole thing, it's just, I don't want to gush, but I feel like I am gushing.
I'm okay.
You're like,
That's
something to
fine.
receive.
I'll receive it.
I'll receive it.
fine.
But no, it really is truly remarkable. There are very few people in this industry that can hit and fire on every single cylinder. And so, you are doing your thing on screen, on stage. I cannot wait to see you.
I have a production company too.
Are you directing now?
Yeah,
too?
I directed a film called Anything's Possible that premiered on Amazon Prime last year. It's a romantic comedy about a black transgender high school girl. She gets a boyfriend and goes to college. Like
it's everything.
Really,
it's celebrating trans joy. I also directed an episode of a new show on Fox called Accused, and that aired a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, you're a part of Accused?
Yes.
Oh man, that's great. Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Robin's story, which is the story about the drag performer.
Oh wow.
But you are telling these stories in such a way that is so important. That's why I have to remind people that, the Billy Porter from years years ago is able to tell these stories in 2023. And we need people like you in this industry. We need our Billy here. And so we are so very fortunate to have you on KTU. And for those of you who are listening right now, you can check out Billy. You will be in New York City, I believe, is it in May?
May 31st at the Beacon Theater.
Oh, I'm going to be there. I already
at
have
the Beacon.
my kimono.
Get your seats.
Honey,
Get your seats, divas.
You have to go and see it. What can we expect from the show?
So the show, like I said earlier, is a celebration of life, of joy, of hope, and it's a retrospective of my life and career because, you know, what's ironic about this whole journey is I spent the first 20 years of my career trying to get the gatekeepers in the sort of acting world to take me seriously as an actor. So now I achieved that.
Oh, yep.
And I happen to stumble across things online that say, oh, I didn't know Pray Tell could sing.
What?
Oh, it's just, you know, and so what I realize is that because I exist in so many different creative spaces, those spaces don't necessarily speak to each other.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
They don't come together, you know, organically.
Pockets. There's different
pockets. And so with the music, I'm trying to just, because music is the universal language, so I'm trying to use the music to pull all of my audiences together. So with that, it's a retrospective of my life. You'll get 10 songs from the new album.
Okay.
Then I'm going to go back to my R&B days, my 90s R&B days. So there's a throwback 90s R&B section, which ends with Love Is On The Way, which was my song in the First Wives Club back in 96.
Yes.
That's right.
And then I'm going to do a theater section with Kinky Boots and, you know, maybe a couple of other things. And then I do my political section, then I do my love section, and then I ramp back up with the party. We end with the party.
A dance party.
Yeah, and hopefully I'm playing theaters.
Okay.
And hopefully by the time we get to that, you know, the party time, people will feel comfortable enough to stand up in their seats and dance like we're in a mosh pit.
That's my hope. They'll be able to hold back, and
that's my hope. And I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna get on your feet.
Absolutely.
And let's just.
And I'm there for the fashion too, because I cannot wait to see what you are going to wear. You know, I interviewed Christian Siriano just a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about the moment.
Yes.
We said there are a handful of times when a designer really looks back at their career and they say, that was a moment. And he mentioned you, and he said that was just so incredible. And I said, everybody was talking about that, you know? So the fact that you are going to bring it on stage.
Yeah. And, you know, it's interesting because I'm trying to manage, like, it's the first time that I'm fronting a band, like I said before, in front of Bob as myself. And so it's a heavy lift. And I haven't done it in like 6, you know, I haven't been on stage in like 6 years. So like I'm like, you know, in Pilates, and I'm on the treadmill. Great. Thank you. I'm on the treadmill singing full out.
Nice.
Something tells me you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna be fine, but it's like 20 songs, you know, or more. And so I have to figure out, like, I'm trying to have some video packages and, you know, so I can go and change, you know, so we'll see.
There's still some some choreography that's like, that needs to happen.
I can watch you and I can like listen to you all day.
All day long. I know. I feel like so selfish. I want to like, hey,
so much energy and so much positivity, and I'm like sitting here and I go, I need to say something because I'm just watching you.
Well, that's our great team.
I'm just captivated.
You know? But I'm
you're sweet.
Really, really nice to meet you.
Thank you.
We're so grateful for this conversation because I'm
grateful for you all having me.
Oh, thank you,
you know,
so much
it's a
for
major thing for me to be here.
Oh, thank you.
And this is my first time at KTU. Like I said,
it's not going to be the last time.
Yeah, I'm so thrilled to be here, and thank you for embracing, you know,
no doubt,
my music in this latest expansion.
And we are here for it. So the Black Mona Lisa is the album. Baby Was a Dancer. That is the single. You are going on tour. Yep. Everybody can find out more information. And we are going to give away a pair of tickets right now.
Yes.
So that somebody from our audience can go. And I'm going to be there because I'm going to make sure that I am in that audience.
Of course you're going to be there.
Yes. I already have like my little kimono picked out. I'm ready. I'm so here for it. So caller 103, you get tickets to check out Billy Porter. And just, we absolutely adore you. Thank you for coming to KTU.
Thank you for for having me. I love you all.
Nice.
I love you all. Go get your tickets. The Billy Porter, THEE.
That's right.
BillyPorter.com.
Yes.
Get your seats. Download Baby Was a Dancer.
That's right.
And you know,
Billy
come
Porter!
on.
Yes.
I love this guy. I want to say, I love Billy Porter.
Oh, thank you.
God.
I love you, Black.
Man.
Carolina with Greg T in the morning.
On 103.5 KTU.